The dream of owning a house, big or small, has to be a dream that knows no borders and crosses the world through every culture. It's probably an aspiration that links every human. The Oxford Dictionary describes a house as a building that people, usually one family, live in. But delve deeper into that and you surely find greater needs. Safety, strength and beauty, to name but a few. So here we are, a family working on two buildings. One big and one very small. And from both of these structures we're trying our very best to make sure that we can call a house, tiny or big, a home.
Shouldn't be a very long job. In fact, I got to go out fairly shortly, so I'm hoping it's only going to take half an hour or so just to stick a few boards on the roof here. Okay. Go and get my squirty foam, important bit of the project. Can you pass me a straight edge?
What are you doing?
Because I don't want to slip. It's very slippy.
Oh dear, I was waiting for this big launch and then you're just hovering like a mountain goat.
It's like I don't want to slip on there because it's an external roof. It's got this glue on it. It's quite slippy.
That wasn't nearly as fun as I was hoping.
Yeah, a bit more than that. Anyway. Okay, next board. Do it.
So, well, the bathroom is going great guns and almost finished, really. Well, no, I don't know. We almost finished, love? Almost. We're like, it's within touching distance. We've got to put the roof on. We've got the plumbers coming hopefully on Friday to fit the shower and the sink. John's got to build a sink cabinet, actually. Anyway, we're not almost done, but the end is in sight. We have, though, hit a minor snag on the big build. And that is that once again, we have got a delay in a delivery of stone. If you've been with us for the whole process, you'll know that the stone has been something of a, well, it's been the one thing that sometimes gets a little bit tricky. When it began, it was, you know, we were going to use that reclaimed stone, and then sadly we couldn't use that because of various reasons. We then had a first delivery of stone that we weren't quite happy with the colour of, so we changed that up and finally found the right colour. And then we had delays because of the weather, and they hadn't been able to cut stone. And now we've had a delay with some machinery. So the truck that usually brings the stone is broken down, and the mechanics aren't able to fix it in time. So we were expecting stone on Monday. Today's Wednesday. On Monday, we had a message to say, actually, it will be Wednesday afternoon. And today we've had a phone call to say, actually, it won't be until next week, Tuesday. Now, it's not a huge problem, it's just like a delay. There's another board. Because we have, so it's not a massive problem, it's just a delay. We've got no more stone on site. So I think we've only got 3 guys on site today, Adele, Roby and Joao. They're doing a bit of concrete work in between the stones that have already been laid, and a lot of cutting out of windows and just like scaling back some of the stone that's in place to make space for things like windows and doors. So they've got plenty to be getting on with. It doesn't mean that the build has stopped, but our stonemasonry team, like Marcus, they're not here at the moment. And it is pretty quiet on the build site. Yesterday especially was very, very peaceful. There's just a bit of hammering, a bit of cutting every now and then. The generator comes on every now and then. But fingers crossed that stone is going to arrive in less than a week, because then we can carry on, because really nothing else can happen until all of the stone is up. They can't put in the interior walls, they can't put the roof on. The stone is the absolute key part of this entire build. And the next delivery is going to be 35 tons of the stuff. Isn't that incredible? So anyway, we'll keep you posted, but we've hit a snag.
I cut this, and then I've got to go to not the local town, but the local town. The local town doesn't have everything I need, you know, why would it? But it's one of those things that you probably, if you're thinking about coming to Portugal and doing a project yourself, there were lots of things that I didn't think about before we got here. You know, like where's Crusoe and Sawyer gonna go to school, and you know, do they play rugby and cricket here and stuff like that. But more basic, more simple level, where am I going to get the stuff to build with? I mean, it's one of those things that you just don't think about before you get to a place like, well, where we are, not in the middle of nowhere. There's a small town 15 minutes in each direction from us, but it is one of those things that if you're in the UK and you've got a small town 15 minutes away from you, you're going to be able to drive to that small town and get exactly what you need, no problem whatsoever. But here, they don't really, because the culture of Portugal isn't really, unless you're Joao and his dad, culture of Portugal isn't really to fix stuff yourself. You get a contractor in to do it, and then somebody comes along and does it for you, which is why the shops don't have what I need in them. Anyway, that means I've got to drive 45 minutes. Well, it'll be about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes round trip. If I took Tara with me, it'd be around about 6 hours.
Rubbish.
Well, there's more shops next to the shop anyway.
Hello, dog. What you doing?
You're running to get new nails.
Did you see Dad running and you got all excited? Oh, sorry, buddy. What's wrong with you? Obi, what you doing? Sorry, Joao. He's got the zoomies, everybody. Oh my gosh, he is actually going crazy down there. Tell him you should see him. What are you doing, Obi? Was that fun? Was that fun? Was that fun?
If I was really, really desperate, I could just throw a tarp over the top of that and it'd be totally fine. One of the other things about Portugal, especially this part of Portugal, is we don't have mega tropical storms or huge weather. We've got pretty peaceful weather around these parts for now anyway. We'll see what the future brings. But that also means that when we're building stuff, we don't have to necessarily clamp the roof down to the walls, or we don't have to make it like it's going to be here through hurricane season. We can just throw a few boards on a couple of beams, structural beams, and nail them down and be very confident that that's going to be good for at least 10 years. We only need it to be good for a couple of years because, of course, there's an outside chance that we might need to knock this down.
While John's doing that roof, I've got a bit of work to do on the computer, but we've actually got no power in here at the moment because he's up there and has switched off the electrics. This tiny house does run completely off-grid though for the most part, and these Jackery boxes are what make that all possible. So a huge thanks to Jackery for being the paid partner of this episode, but let me tell you about this Explorer 1000. So the reason I personally love this little box more than other boxes that we have is because it's so light. It weighs just 11 kilos. Which makes it really easy for me to move around. So I can take it around the farm if I need to, but most importantly, it's just been charging inside, and it's really simple for me to be able to pick it up and move it in here so I can get on with what I need to get on with. But I knew I needed it this morning, and if you use a wall charging, it will take just 1.7 hours. So it's super speedy to get it powered up so that you can use it. This would be absolutely ideal if you were going camping or if you wanted to set yourself up with a little power outlet in your garden. So we currently have the laptop, hard drives and the microphone all plugged in and ready to go, but it is a little bit dark in here, so I'm grateful that there is another plug socket and I can put the lamp on. Oh, that's much better. I've seen John using it in numerous different projects around the farm. It's great for his power tools and it really manages regardless of what he asks of it. But it's also just so perfect to run a little office. Over the years that we've been working with Jackery, we have found them to be excellent value for money. So check out the link in the description below this video. It will take you off to the Jackery website where you'll be able to find out all of the information that you need to know about the Explorer 1000 and all of the Jackery products. And remember that just by clicking on that link, you massively help to support our channel, and for that we are super grateful.
So that's the insulation board.
That's gonna be our door.
No, that's not a door. That's an insulation block. And look, Adele is bringing that. Adam's bringing the blocks. We're just having a look at how we're going to do this. We've got the insulation going in now. So talking to Joachim just a moment ago about what the best solution for the insulation. Let me explain a little bit more fully here. So there are these guns, obviously in those small canisters, but there are guns, big guns that you can squirt and fire off. You've probably seen them on TV ads or wherever, to basically squirt the spray foam onto the stone or onto whatever product it might be that you're squirting it onto, and then that foam expands, sticks onto the material and expands and creates a very uniform layer of insulation. That was one solution to insulating the house against the stone. It is very irregular. You can see here, none of it is the same size. So putting a flat board up against it, very difficult. So what we've done, and the reason for that is, here we go. You can see down here, we've done a little bit of an experiment. We've got the insulation, the board insulation right here, and then we've got the block down here. Now, if we want to put that board insulation and still keep an air gap here between the stone and the insulation, then this block is coming away out from the level of the beams, which means it's going to take around about what's that, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, probably 2 inches, 6 centimeters away from the interior space of the house. I'm not too worried about that, to be honest, because we've got quite a big house going on here. So 6 centimeters around the perimeter of the house, I'm pretty okay with that. What that means is that we're going to be able to put up boards probably a little bit quicker and a little bit easier than the spray foam. I don't have to worry about spray foam being stuck onto the stone or whether it's fireproof or anything along those lines. And it's just a cleaner, tidier job. I feel like it's going to be better. And we get that air gap between the stone and the boards. Adam's drawn on the floor here the roots, basically, the location for the boards. You can see this inner line there, that's where the boards are going in, right there. And then in front of that will go the block work. Adele and Robbie will be almost certainly just squirting around the edges just to fill in those gaps so it'll be fully sealed. Hopefully having that air gap there will not only help to keep the moisture away from the outside. You guys all know in the winter time here, it rains a lot. So keeping the moisture away from the internal walls is really important. But also by putting that board in, it's an opportunity to seal more fully the building, so that when we do put that air recycling system into the build, we'll be able to recycle clean air through the house, and also eliminate the amount of moisture in the house as well that will cause mold problems and those other kind of problems that are so common in houses in this part of Portugal.
We're definitely entering a new phase of this build, guys, and we're so excited and grateful to have you along for the journey. Please could you do me a favour and just check that you are subscribed to our channel. It's free and it helps us more than you know. Adao and the guys carried on with the insulation for the rest of the day while John got the roof onto the bathroom. We're trying really hard to remind ourselves to step back often and take it all in, because for sure this is the build of a lifetime.
Faces just stop and stare, catching more light. So I hold you close, no matter where you go, through all the rain and snow, be close behind.
Oh. Hot weather, and bending over, giving me a bad back. Starting to feel old. Don't say that out loud.
I think they look great. Maybe something I'd see in my granny's house.
Well, that's good.
We are going to be grannies and grandpas one day. Wow. No, I like them. I think they're going to look fun.
I couldn't think of another way to get her over that, around that corner. So this just seemed like the easiest way. Right, let's pick a tile.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, there's one right here. That's a good one. Or, still got glue on the back. There's a red and blue one there. It's a couple by your feet.
Is this one a good one?
Yeah, that's a lovely one.
Where do you want it? Here?
Yeah.
Oh, I made the hole too big.
I think you knew you were doing that. What's your plan? Are you going to cut little ones to go in between or just grout?
Well, I really wanted it to go in the middle. So I cut these ones out.
I think it looks great, love. My word, you really had no... Like, the level of work that you can do, my love, knows absolutely no bounds. A lot of people be like, I just can't be bothered. But you can always be bothered. So
cut
fun.
all of those up early. I just wanted it to go in the middle, you know?
Yeah.
I don't often like things that go in the middle, but
that looks really cool.
Right.
There you go. That now, has that made you like the mosaic ones better?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Let's have a look. Just try it. Put these two in place. 1, 2. Good. Next one. Yeah, it looks good from this side. I like that curve. If you look there.
That does look nice, love. Good work. Love it, my darling. Well done.
Next? Which tile's next? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun, and that, of course, matching with that little one there on the floor. yesterday John was in here just filming Adele starting to put the first bit of insulation in that bedroom. And it's a funny thing, isn't it? It feels really wrong to be covering that beautiful stonework with insulation and blockwork, but there's a good reason for it. So, and I'm sure I almost feel like we can hear you guys screaming at the screen going, what are you doing? Why are you covering the stones? And it's a good point, it's a good question. The main reason is this part of Portugal really gets very wet in the winter. Like we can have months, weeks of just incessant rain, and the houses here have got a reputation for being so damp, and they really do get super damp and very moldy. And what we don't want is to build a new house that has got a damp problem. So let's go see where the guys have got to today, because they are going great guns.
You move it.
Yeah. So here we are. Sorry, that's a bang. So Adele's just cutting that insulation to shape. They're getting into place, and then I think it looks like Joao and Roby are getting ready to start laying some bricks down.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Which is so funny because before we started building the bathroom in the tiny house, do you remember a long time ago when your sister first booked her trip, we were like, well, maybe that one room will be ready. We can make it ready for her and they could stay in the house. Which would have been ridiculous, really, to stay in a build site. But anyway, it is funny that just as they're about to arrive, this room is almost at the point where we could put a window and a door on it and put something in it, you know? So anyway, what we are going to do to compensate for the fact that we're covering a whole bunch of stone is make sure that inside the house we're going to have a few feature stone walls. They're going to be not the backside of the stones that have been laid on the outside of the house. They're going to be their own layer of stone. So let's go and have a look at one of those walls. So this is probably one of the most important ones, is this one that goes around the arched kitchen window. That is all going to be done in stone, probably slightly smaller stones, and Marcus is going to do it by hand and just close that off beautifully. So we'll have a feature stone wall here.
Behind us, there'll be a wall going from this beam to this beam. Basically, that's going to be a corridor into the house. This will be where all of the control panels for the entire house go, in cupboards along this entrance hallway here. So we'll have that feature wall over there.
Yeah, so here we go. This is going to be where we put the fireplace, and we had such a fun kind of design chat with Eduardo the other day about making this whole fireplace a stone fireplace. I'll pop a picture up of what we're thinking. The boys are having an absolute ball. I'll pop a picture up of what we're thinking, but it's going to be a huge stone wall here encasing that fireplace, probably with like a big rock like hearth from one of those reclaimed stones, and the stone will wrap around as well, around this side, so it'll be like a big stone feature in this end of the house. With that beautiful bay window, perhaps stone at the bottom of the bay window, I don't know, maybe wood. Beautiful comfy cushions, couple of armchairs here in the fireplace, big doors on either side. It'll be really beautiful. I'm excited. Anyway, yesterday I mentioned that the stone delivery had been delayed by a week, and we were a bit like, oh, okay, that's not ideal. But we have heard today that the truck has been fixed, and we are expecting a delivery of stone this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. Fingers crossed. So we will see you guys next time when the stone arrives. And for now, I'm going to say thank you so much for spending your time with us. It means the world to us. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave us a comment because we love hearing from you, and your opinions and thoughts and ideas are so valuable. And we'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.